This is a Stock Trading Reality Podcast, episode 19.
That averaging down, it's a killer. It really is. And to me, the worst part about averaging down is it does work. That's the worst part, is it will work, occasionally, but it's that one time that it doesn't work where it, just takes you to the woodshed.
This is the Stock Trading Reality Podcast, where you get to see the realistic side of a trader's journey. Get inspired and stay motivated by everyday normal people who are currently on their journey to trading success. And this is your host, who went to an all-guys high school, Clay Trader.
Yeah, you heard that right. I went to a high school all filled with guys, and you may be thinking, well, that probably was pretty terrible. No, I actually loved it. I don't remember what fun fact it was, but I was scared of girls for a very long time. So I really had no problem going to a school where I didn't have to worry about, oh, I wonder what she's going to think of me. Should I wear this? Should I wear that? It was a true feeling of freedom to be able to just not have any worries and try to impress anybody. So it's not as bad as it sounds relative to my personality type, which was very shy and very scared of girls. Ches, I guess first I should ask, did you even go to high school?
What about that darn dare education there?
Yeah.
No.
Schools for fools?
Yeah, schools for fools. Yeah. No, I went to just a regular high school, and I was well, you didn't
regular high school.
Impressing.
Here we go. Here's the point right here. So what's a regular high school? Can you define that for me?
Co-ed high school? I don't know. I thought like all boys or all girls school were unique in the sense that they weren't a normal high school. I don't know. I went to a public high school. How about that? Does that make more sense?
No, that's perfect. I went to an irregular high school, I guess.
Yes,
I could
and that
say,
makes sense why you turned out the way you did.
It actually explains a lot. I agree. That explains quite a bit. Well,
today you were not working on being suave, I was Rico Suave at my school. I had to deal with impressing people all the time. So
yeah, those pictures you sent me over text of you and your grease lightning coat and your hair slicked back. That was
my sweet leather jacket. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and those chapless pants that I don't know how you got away with going to high school, but that was crazy. I don't know what kind of high school it was, but apparently you own that place if they let you dress that way. Anyways, I don't know what we're talking about right now, but it certainly has nothing to do with stocks and trading. Welcome to the show, everybody. Today we sat down with a member from the chat room, Andrew. He goes by Ava in the chat room. And it was a fantastic interview. In fact, Ches and I got some ranting in, probably me more so than Ches, but there was a couple things where I just had to let loose. I couldn't stand it, so I just ranted and ranted for a little bit. So Ava, hopefully you listen to this. I thank you for your patience, for letting me rant those couple times I did. So definitely stick around for that. But Ches, I thought it was a really good interview. What do you think?
Yeah, it was totally awesome. And we mentioned in the podcast a bunch is that we've seen Ava since he joined the community, and just how his consistency and his gains have just kind of grown, and he's got the potential to be a huge superstar trader, and he's well on his way.
Yeah, for sure. So with that being said, let's hop into the interview, and as you'll hear about, we actually had to do a portion of this twice, so let's get started. Well, we got about 20 minutes into this interview, and then we had some technical difficulties. So we're all going to be faking this from this point forward, thinking that or pretending like this is our first time through. But Ava, for the second time, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Same as last time we did this, probably. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Ava, are you looking for a job? We need a new IT guy here at claytrader.com. So the job's open if you want it.
Yeah, we were talking during the downtime. Ava is majoring in finance, so it looks like IT Nate is safe, because if you would have said information technology, Nate would be looking at monster.com right now. But anyways, like I said earlier, I know you're doing some babysitting right now, and I appreciate you taking time out, being willing to multitask a little bit, and just take some time to tell us your story. So in regards to your story, where did this all start for you? What got you interested in the market? And what just made you want to jump in?
No, I was, stuck at home with a work injury, and I really felt like I could, use the money that I had saved up and try to, increased the income I was making, and it led me to trading stocks.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on your injury? I think it's pretty intense. It's good. It's good for ratings.
Yeah, yeah. I got my hand crushed. It was actually crushed between a rod rotator and the bridle coming off of a pump jack, and lost the tip of my index finger. Uh, Crushed part of my thumb, so I can't bend the tip at all, and it's really a pain in the butt.
And this was out on the oil rigs, right? Because that's what
Yes,
you used to do.
yeah.
You were a driller.
Yep, it was in the oil field.
Now, oil fields, or like were you out on
I
a
was
rig
actually
in the
on a
Gulf?
drilling rig. No, no, no. This was out in West Texas.
Okay, so that's there's no water out there. That's just barren.
Yeah, it's pretty flat and useless land except for all that oil down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say useless is kind of a relative term depending on who owns that land. But
Yeah.
uh, so you're sitting around, and you mentioned that your company was paying you because I'm assuming workers' compensation or whatever. And so you built up some money, and so you did some research. So what did you what how what really brought you to the market?
Uh, I found a link that said that I could get rich trading penny stocks, and I was like, well, what's a penny stock? So I clicked on the link and started seeing people making 500-600% gains trading something that's only worth a penny or two, and it had me really intrigued, and I was thinking it was probably too good to be true, and I would later find out it is, but it's possible, I guess.
Wow, so you actually had some skepticism. That's interesting to hear. You didn't actually buy into the hype, but you did your research on it, and yeah, obviously the stock market is a viable way to definitely make some supplemental income. So now, what did that research kind of lead you to believe? Did you check out a couple guys who were giving out hot stock picks, or were you kind of scanning charts or trying to see what was popular for the week? How did that look for you right when you kind of found out about these penny stocks?
Well, it like I said, I was intrigued, but I still had no idea what to look for or what to watch or how to take any of this information I was figuring out. And, it led me to other services besides Clay's that, they wanted a buttload of my money, which I wasn't willing to give up just so they could teach me stuff. So that eventually led me to the free service iHub. And there's a whole lot of Kool Aid flowing over there.
What's your definition of Kool Aid for the listeners um, that may have no idea that think you're talking about some sort of red or a grape liquid?
Uh, well, I wish it was as sweet as that, but it usually isn't. It's just people promoting whatever stock that they happen to be in, probably, and they're trying to get it to move up so they'll be able to make money. And a lot of times it just isn't the case.
I like to kind of always get people's definitions because, like I said, I mean, you were brand new, you had no idea what was going on. But now that you can look back, I mean, it's just amazing to see how people can progress and be like, no, that they have an interest in the stock. They're trying to pump the price up and try to get me to buy their shares at a higher price. And we, in our first interview, you discussed, I thought it was pretty entertaining, but what you eventually stumbled onto some sort of quote unquote scanner. What were you using to find those first couple of stocks that you actually played?
I think it was called the ticker cloud or whatever. Is whatever stock happened to be getting talked about the most, or I guess that's how it works. And whichever one had the biggest, it was either the biggest red or the biggest green. And I would always click on that biggest green one and kind of just go with it, kind of watch it, see what it does. And majority of the time, it didn't do anything. But
So in other words, wherever the majority of the sheep were, hey, why not join the party? I'm gonna go play that ticker. That's funny. But to take a step back, so you said, you know what? I have money just piling up from my workers' comp. Oh, look, there's a link here. Hey, penny stocks, I can get rich. Doing some research. How long did all that last before you finally opened up a trading account?
uh, probably 2 or 3 months, because I was injured on Valentine's Day of last year and didn't open my account till the end of May. So there was a delay there, I guess. Maybe not. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay while I was trying to figure out what it is or how it was even possible to get rich trading something that was only worth a penny.
That's probably not a bad thing either. It gave you a little bit of time to kind of to survey the waters before you kind of jumped in, full force. But so now your account is open after you've been kind of looking at stuff for a couple months now. And how long did it take you to grasp how penny stocks are, and how great and genuine they are, and how responsible they are?
It didn't take me too long at all. I put I think a couple $100 into a couple stocks that essentially did nothing. I think I might have lost like 60 or $70 before I got tired of just staring at a chart that didn't move at all. And I mean, I even went as far as trying to find people that pumped stocks. Trying to find someone that would do that, because I had found out that you could get rich if people were pumping stocks pretty heavy. I just had no idea where to look.
Do you remember the ticker symbols at all?
I remember one was Pingify.
What was the ticker?
I think PGFY maybe, or something like that.
PGFY, that's right.
Was that?
Yep.
I don't remember that one. Was that?
It was a decent pump. It did for one day, but I think the second day it got halted.
It did for one day. Everybody hear that? It was a good move for one day. Yeah, well, that's about summarizes a lot of penny stocks right there.
I believe I made like $70-some on it. I was up as high as $170 and thinking, I was like, wow, this thing's just gonna keep going. And it finally started going down. I was like, uh-oh. Finally, I took my $70 and was, I guess kind of happy with it. And then I think the next day it got halted.
Okay, so was that your first ever stock you traded?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But regardless, you weren't, because I'm sure there were people on the message board saying, hey, buy the dip, load the boat. But you didn't listen. You actually took profit. So
yeah,
cheers to you. Good on you. You set yourself apart right there, because I don't know how many times it doesn't take long. You go to the message boards and it starts falling. Oh, these are bargain prices. Oh, buy the dip. And then Ches shows up. Oh, buy right now. You can buy your own Lamborghini like mine. I mean,
I'm still going to tell you to buy the dip, because looking at the 52-week chart here of Pingify, it looks like at one point it was as high as 10 cents, and the latest traded price, which was multiple days ago, was 0002. So, I mean, if you're buying all the way down here, I mean, you probably got a great cost average. So,
yeah,
buy the dip.
I mean, look, in 1995, this thing traded for, like Ches said, 10 cents. So, I mean, it's going back up to those 1995 highs. It's just patience, everybody, patience. It's only been like 30 years, but, well, no, but in all seriousness, that's actually pretty impressive, because my first penny stock, I was one of those people that kept buying the dip, and then my nice gain that I had swung over to a pretty good-sized loss. So, yeah, that's very good work on your part. But so you escaped out of this from $70. You traded some more. At what point did you kind of say, you know what, this isn't worth my time? What else had to really happen to finally push you, over that edge?
I think it was watching your live trading videos. That's kind of what led me away from the penny stocks. There's no liquidity there at all, and I wanted something to move. That's what I was looking for, and your live trade videos helped out a lot. And I kind of now trade with a little bit along the same strategies I've seen you use there, and it's helped me tremendously.
Now you use the word liquidity, so why don't you define liquidity that way? I've defined it many times before, but like I said, from somebody like you that was new and now you understand the stuff, how would you define liquidity? Why is that? Why do you even care about this liquidity word? What does that even mean?
You got to go where the volume is. I mean, the volume, and then you get some price movement, and it actually makes you actually able to trade it, so that you actually have an opportunity to make money, rather than sit there and watch a penny stock essentially do nothing, for days at a time, it seems like.
So you're telling me that there's more traders looking at Apple or Google than there are at Pingify?
I would hope so.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And like Clay said, you need you need people to interact with so that you can, buy when people want to sell and sell when people want to buy. And if there's not a lot of people in that market, like Ava said, you're just going to sit around for a couple of days until somebody wants to either pick up some crappy penny stocks or, sell some. So that's liquidity is definitely king. So you leave penny stocks now. You see kind of Clay's live trading videos. So did you just decide to trade some larger names, in the Nasdaqs or something, and get off the pink sheets?
Yeah, yeah, I was doing that and then trying to figure out how to play alerts, from the chat room. And I still, I was doing this for probably 2 or 3 months and still not really knowing how to play the alert or what I was even looking at as far as the chart. So I was still really blind to what was going on, and I didn't want to lose money. I hate losing. So luckily that finally led me into purchasing courses on, the technical analysis.
Okay, now so actually let's take a step back. I think it's been a few episodes since I made this point. So you joined the Inner Circle Trading Group, but that didn't turn you into a millionaire. You just didn't start, the profits didn't rain down from the sky on you just because you decided to join a service?
Not at all. I still felt just as lost as the penny stocks, only I was actually watching the charts move and, had an idea what to look for, but didn't know, what the point of the support or the resistance was or how that's going to affect me if I were to buy here at this point on the chart.
So you're telling us that there's more to trading than just signing up for somebody's service, whether it's mine or anybody else's. There's a little bit more than goes into it. It's not just as easy as, here, take my money, now I'm going to be rich.
Oh yeah, there's still a whole lot more going on, and if anyone has gotten rich just playing alerts like that, man, congrats to you. I don't know how you do it.
No, that's definitely not it. And I've said it before. If trading was as easy as signing up for tell me when to buy, tell me when to sell, give me alerts, give me trade ideas, whatever you want to call them, the success rates would be a lot higher than what they are. But good on you. You figure it out. Hey, you know what? Something's just not right. There's more to it. Supports, resistance. What does that mean? So then you went and you got some courses. Was that through me or was that through another service? Where did you start to, did you even pay? What kind of education was this?
First I looked online, YouTube. There's a lot of free information out there, but it was just really spread out, and you really had to dig deep just to find it all. And eventually, you offered the CTU package, and everything was just laid out in a way that's really, really easy to learn, I thought.
Awesome. And so yeah, you said you dove in head first, right? You didn't try one course specifically. You just dove right into the thing, just right into it.
Oh yeah, just the lifetime membership for the Inner Circle. It just seemed like a real no-brainer to me. This is something as soon as I figured out what you're capable of doing within the market, I was like, this is something I know I'm gonna be around, for the rest of my life, And
yeah, it's awesome to find that too. Once you kind of figure it out, on the inside of yourself, it's cool to kind of find that passion. So you got access to kind of this whole curriculum and package now. Now, are you trading at the same time while you're going through the courses, or are you just did you take some time off to kind of go through it and hone your strategies?
No, I was still trying to trade at the same time while I was studying all the courses. And looking back now, it wasn't exactly the way to go about doing it at all. But I was, I guess you could say I did hit a little bit of fool's gold and was, making $200-300 a day and feeling good about what I was doing. But I still didn't quite have the strategy down that I needed.
Well, I want to get this point in from the first interview we did, but I asked you during the first interview, I said, all right, so you joined, CTU, you got all these courses, and, everything turned to, puppies and rainbows and sweet little grandmas. And what was your response? It actually what?
Not at all. It got worse. I thought because
it got worse
because I've taken these courses.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought to myself, I got these courses. It's the support, that's the resistance. It's supposed to hold, or it's not supposed to go through there. And
it can't fall through there. It can't go above there. No, it says it can't.
Yeah, it was. it
Go
actually
for
made
it.
it worse. It actually made it worse for me, mentally, because I was seeing stuff on the chart, based on what I'd been learning, and when the chart wouldn't hold or wouldn't do what it was, what I was projected it to do, I'd get stubborn. I'd be like, no, it's supposed to.
And I love the point here. You already touched on a little bit, but just because you sign up, just like if you join a membership site that's going to give you picks or alerts or same with education. Just because you sign up for a course and or sign up for any sort of program doesn't mean that it's gonna just everything's gonna turn around. There's still a lot more that goes to it. And like Ava was saying, he bought the course and then just started trading. Now, did you paper trade at all?
No, I did not.
Okay, so right there, it got worse for him, but as Ava admitted, he just hopped in. He's trying to educate himself while he's doing trading, and I've used this analogy before, but it's like a brain surgeon. The way medical school, you don't. Okay, I'm going to go to class today, and then in this afternoon I have to go perform brain surgery, and then I got a night class, and then next morning I got another brain surgery, and then I'm going to go back. No, that's not how it works. You get educated first, and then you start to put what you've learned into practice, and that's where paper trading, and we talk about it all the time on the show, is so valuable. Is it at least lets you kind of simulate some things, just like in medical school. Your first brain surgery is not going to be on a person. It's going to be on some sort of I don't know what corpse. What do they call those things? Chaz, somebody bail me out here. In medical school, the dead bodies. What do they call those?
Cadaver.
Cadavers.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Ava, the college guy here. He's bailing me out. Yeah, you're gonna perform surgery on a cadaver first, not just a real body. So same with trading. Why do you think that? It's great you're getting educated. Don't get me wrong, but too many people think, okay, I'm getting educated now. I can start to operate on a real human being, or I can put my money in the markets. That's as Ava has talked about, that's a little bit too good to be true, isn't it, Ava?
Oh yeah, it's very too good to be true. And if I could have every dime that I lost back, I'd go back and do it all over again.
And how would you do it all over again?
I would paper trade. I'd probably still be paper trading right now.
You think so? I'm not saying
Probably.
I'm not saying that's bad, but you think that you'd really have just so that's a whole revamp of your plan. Then if you think you'd still be paper trading, but what would you want to see as knowing now what you know? What would you want to see as your paper trading? What sort of results would make you feel good to actually put real money on the line?
Knowing when to enter those good RVR trades and when to exit them. Like I'm really confident in my skills on finding a good trade to make, but still I struggle with exiting, and sometimes averaging into trades, because that averaging down it's a killer. It really is. And to me, the worst part about averaging down is it does work. That's the worst part, is it will work, occasionally, but it's that one time that it doesn't work where it, just takes you to the woodshed.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna have to disagree. Not occasionally, it works the vast majority of the time. However, so if you're listening, yes, I said a strategy works the vast majority of the time, but there's an asterisk here, and that asterisk is what, Ches? Fill in the asterisk for me.
When it works 90% of the time, but that works 9 times out of 10, that one time will destroy you. You'll be out. Your entire account will be cleared out.
Yep, those other 9 times. Oh, see you later. For you Dumb and Dumber fans out there, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later. That's Ava's a fan. I like it. So, that's what like I said. If you've seen Dumb and Dumber, you like that quote. Picture that. That's what averaging down does. It's like a big gulp thing. Well, see you later. Now we had talked earlier that you had some fool's gold. So tell us about that fool's gold where you thought you kind of started to have things figured out.
Yeah, I was mainly trading stocks like GoPro, some low float stocks that would move $2 or $3. That was their range for the day, and I was doing really well, making $200 or $300 a day that I thought was good. And then the BABA IPO happened, and I went to buy it when it broke through 100, thinking, this is going to carry up pretty high. That's a pretty heavy level to break through, and well, that 100 didn't hold long, and I did not cut my loser fast enough.
That's kind of your moment of clarity, though. I bet. Would you? Is it safe to say that that had to happen for you to kind of have your eyes opened up?
Oh yeah, yeah, and it really made me take a step back and kind of kind of look at the way I approached every trade. And I probably should have, started paper trading a lot more after that too. That way I could really let all the education that I, was building up sink in, so that I would figure out the importance of good RVR trades versus, small scalps like I was really going for at the time.
Now we talked a little bit about in the first time we kind of recorded this. I know you had some fool's gold and everything kind of before this Baba trade. Now, did those kind of gains excite you, or what is your mental state as these trades are going your way?
I was able to stay, pretty level headed about it. I don't really get excited about much at all, but I was trying to keep it as business like as possible, because that's what it was for me. It's what it is for me now.
And that's exactly kind of the point I want people to hear out there is Ava is not one to, and I've seen Ava since he joined the community. I've seen him progress as a trader, and at no point was he in there screaming and chanting like "Die, Apple, die," or any of these. He's never getting overly emotional about these trades, and he's strictly here in a business sense. He's here to make money. And that's how he treats it. It's very serious. One trade is just a series of a bunch of trades. And I totally attribute that, mindset to really kind of helping him, cross from a barrier of, being a relatively new trader to now he's a consistent trader. It's that mindset of this is a business, and he's not looking at it like a casino. And Clay, you can touch on some of the newer people we talk to all the time about how, they're looking to put it on red or black, and we kind of have to open their eyes that it really doesn't work like that.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Ava. Are you doing trading because it's fun?
No, because I've had days where it's not fun. I have to work my butt off, it seems, just to make a couple $100, and those days they're not fun. It's a business. That's what it is.
Yeah, let me ask this. Even on the good days, is that why you're doing it? Because it's fun to have good days? Or are you doing it because good days mean you're making money?
No, still not it for me. I don't have a whole lot of fun. I don't get a whole lot of pleasure from sitting in front of a computer.
So in other words, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're here for the money, right?
Exactly. That's why I'm here. And
that may sound like a very greedy statement, but that is a businessman statement. I'm here for the money, because that's what I don't care if you're selling cookies on their driveway. I don't care if you're selling mixtapes like I used to do back in 5th grade. And then I get in trouble because Napster, and you can't do that, Clay. That's illegal. But I don't care what you're doing. If you're in business, treat it like a business. And like Ches said, when people say trading is fun, yes, I'll give it that. But if your reason for trading is, hey, I want to have some fun. Oh, I can press buttons and I can make money doing that. Your mentality is going to be that of a gambler. And I see it all the time. And not with new people, yes, but even with people that have been around a while, they make comments. And you can tell that their mind's in the casino mindset. This is not a casino. This is not gambling. It's a business. But if you're here for the fun, if you're here, wow, yeah, let's just have a good time. Well, you know what? You're going to turn this place into something that it's not. Remember, Wall Street is in New York City. It's not on the Strip in Las Vegas. So keep that in mind. If you go into that mindset, you got to focus on the business. And a business is measured. Think about it. How do businesses measure success or failure? Are they making money? Not how much fun are people having. Is it making money? So I could go on. I could rant on this forever. So I'll pull back on the reins. I don't even know where we're gonna go from this. Ches, you're gonna have to bail me out here, man. I'm getting too emotional over here. I can't stand. I'm gonna keep ranting. Just give me a little more second. I can't stand people that treat trading like it's freaking Las Vegas. And trading doesn't work. That's a scam. Well, yeah, it's a scam when you treat it like a casino, you moron. I gotta just go, Ches. I'm losing it.
I'll take it from here. The short version of what Clay said is, trading is still a job, and not jobs aren't meant to, the guy who's a janitor at the school isn't having fun, but he's making a paycheck. The guy who's a CEO of a corporation, it might be great. He's making a ton more money than, say, the janitor. But at the end, he still has to put in a ton of hours. It's work, and I'm sure he'd rather be laying on a beach versus working. It is a job, and you got to treat it like a job in a business. And what we kind of established there prior to the rant was, Ava has always treated it as a business and a source of income. He didn't come here because he said, "Ooh, I like, green and red candles and they're flying across my screen." But now that we've established that trading is a job, and while we don't think that it's, the worst job, it's still a job. And I know at one point you had gone to a prop firm or a proprietary trading group. And what those are known for is you would kind of deposit your money there, and they give you access. If you put in 5,000, they give you buying power of up to like 100,000. It's generally a way a lot of people will be able to kind of use their money to leverage it up and either take on larger positions. Or since you're trading, from this pool of money, you avoid pattern day trading. So I just wanted to see what was your reason for going to join, and deciding to use a prop firm, kind of, a little bit in the middle of your trading journey.
It was completely for the to avoid the pattern day trading rule. I wasn't needing all that leverage to trade 2,000-3,000 shares at a time. That wasn't within my strategy and it wasn't within my RVR. That's all I used it for, is avoid pattern day trading. I was still trading 100, maybe 200 shares at a time tops, and was making consistent gains doing so.
And just if you've been around a while, I'm sure you've heard of the pattern day trading rule. We will link in the show notes a little trick that you can use to get around it. That may sound too good to be true, but like I said, I'm not going to get into it here, but it involves options. So if you're interested and maybe suffering from that, just go to the show notes, claytrader.com/podcast, and we'll link how you can avoid that and get a little bit more trades per week than if you're trading stocks straight up. But so you're at your prop firm. What kind of stocks are you trading at that point in time? Are you still looking for the GoPro types, or has that changed at all? Or are you even still trading stocks? Are you now into options, or what were you doing at that point?
I stayed with them for probably, I think, 6 months or so, trading stocks like GoPro, just anything I could find with some nice daily range. Just I like the low floaters. That's kind of my thing. Or anything that's overextended to the upside or downside. I like to try to play those bounces and pullbacks and stuff. And that's kind of my main strategy when I was trading with them.
So you said you were with them for about 6 months. So what occurred that made you decide, you know what, I want to just separate myself from the prop firm?
Well, I was just kind of looking at my gains every day and how they would compare, because I was trying to manage an options account and my prop firm account, which is strictly trading the equity straight up, and my gains with my options were just kicking my prop firm's gains butt, and it was just a no-brainer to me.
So the prop firm, how much of your profits did they get to keep?
The way they worked was they only would keep profits if you were one of their traders. Like, it was more of like a pool of new traders would come in and they would see who were making the most gains for them, and then they would make them exclusive traders with their firm, with their money, and then they would give them up to, I don't even know, it was a bunch more buying power and stuff, so they could try to make even more gains. And I wasn't selected, which didn't bother me, and I was just fine taking my little base hits, and so I got to keep all of my profits.
Okay, and you mentioned options. So what got you interested in options? When did just what kind of appeal did you see with options?
Just a lot going on within the inner circle, going on about the options, and I saw people trading. I saw other members like Hooch and them were just making awesome gains, and I started looking into it. And then you came out with the Options Simplified course, and everything that I thought I would never be able to learn was really laid out in a really easily learnable way, and I just went with it and started. I actually paper traded options for a while.
Hey, there you go. Hey, learning.
Started seeing very nice results, and just liking the way it was. So I just moved away from the prop firm, focused on my options.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that I didn't want you to sell yourself short there. I remember when you were paper trading the options, and you said, you were doing, almost just as well as you were kind of trading in equities. And it doesn't surprise me at all that you're still finding kind of continued success in the options because what a lot of people don't realize, and they kind of talk to, like I said, Clay and I talk to a ton of people all the time. They think that, oh, I'll just learn how to trade options. I don't have to spend time on any of that technical analysis stuff. But please enlighten people to the fact that you still need to know how to read a chart to trade options, don't you, Ava?
I think it's even more important on the options just because you're dealing with more things going against you rather than just the stock going down. There's other things within the options that can affect your price, and it can really kill you if you don't play the chart how you're supposed to.
Yeah, it's an added level of complexity. I completely agree, and it's totally it can be taught, and we see like you said you had known nothing about options kind of prior to taking the courses and kind of learning how they trade. But I always give people it's the equivalent of you go from a single speed like beach cruiser bike. But now you got to add more complexities, and that's what options are, is like a multi-geared, racing bike or something. It's you still have to understand kind of the basics and the foundational part of it. And a lot of people just think they can skip to it and get these 100%, 300%, 500% option gains. And I got to kind of level with them that you got to start from square one. You still have to be able to read charts, and I think something that a lot of people usually gloss over.
All right, this may seem kind of random, but I know your lifestyle, Ava. I know what's going on in your life. So let's pretend someone comes up to you and says, Ava, I just don't have the time. I'd like to do trading. I don't have the time. What kind of response would you give this person?
Oh, there's always plenty of time. I mean, it's I
you
guess
can let loose because I know your schedule. You could, and you have every right to have no pity on people that want to throw out the no time excuse. So feel free to rant and rave a little bit. I might join in.
if you can't find the time in order to educate yourself, then I don't even know why you think you have the money in order to try to make money this way. It's I don't know. You're living in a fairy tale, I guess. There's always plenty of time. You just have to learn to manage it. That's what it all comes down to.
Do I have your permission to maybe reveal a little bit of what's going on in your life right now at the time of this interview?
Oh, yeah. Go right on ahead.
So Ava's in college getting a finance major. Can I say your age?
Yeah.
Age 27. So it's not like, he's going back to school a little bit later than most, which is awesome. So he's going back to school. He's got a family. He's doing trading. He's doing trading very well. Right now he's studying for exams, and now he's on a podcast interview. So for all you people out there that, I don't have time. No. Do you want it bad enough or don't you? If you don't want it, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Go give your money to a financial advisor. There's no harm in that. Absolutely not. But like I said, I know what's going on in Ava. And Ava, you were way too polite. You should have just really railed into the fact that, because you're being too humble about how busy your life is, but yet you're still in the chat room. And you're getting really good grades too, right? I think I remember seeing your GPA. You're getting
oh yeah, it's a 4.0 right now where I'm at, and it doesn't come without putting in the time and the effort at all. But it's definitely possible to make happen.
Yeah, and it's a matter of desire, right? You just have to want to do it. It's that's why this is not a lazy man's game, lazy woman's game. You got to show up and do the work. So, where are you at right now in your trading? What sort of strategies are you using? Do you have any sort of favorite indicators or anything?
No indicators except for just price movement and volume. Right now, I'm doing fairly well, just trading stocks that are overextended. Outside the Bollinger Band, that's probably about the only thing I'll use. This morning I caught a decent move on Amazon. It got pretty stretched, but that's kind of what I look for.
No, tell us a little bit more about it. So stretched in what direction?
It was stretched to the downside. There's a lot of selling pressure this morning earlier, and I think I got in around the 420. It got close to 425. I think I put in my first buy order on some calls at 420, I believe, and I think it dipped a little bit below there, but I was willing to build my position into that 425, and it caught a nice move back up.
So what were the price of the calls? We're going to turn this into a little illustrate, because some people might be thinking, Amazon, nope, I can't trade that. That's like a $500 stock. So what were these calls that you bought? What price?
I believe they were I think I want to say 360, 380. I'm not near my trading computer right now, but
Okay, okay, that's
they were
fine.
not pricey
So
at all.
okay, so $3.60. So think about it. Amazon stock, Ches, you got a chart up. What's Amazon at right now? It's probably like 400 something.
Amazon is currently at 431.27.
Okay, so maybe you're thinking, well, I mean, to buy one share, that costs me, that's a lot of money. Well, here, Ava is getting involved in the trade for $350. Let's call it that. So that's just a little example of how you can use smaller amounts of money to participate in moves that Amazon, a $400 stock is making. So yeah, you picked up some calls, and then, take us through the rest of the trade there, Ava.
It put in a nice bounce back up, and I think I only had two because I had no idea how much further it could go.
Right. Yep. No, but that's all part of your trade plan. You knew you were willing to build a size, so you started small. So it bounced up, and go
I
ahead.
scaled my first one out at when it hit the 430 area, and then my last one got stopped out when it went back down to 428. So I had a pretty decent gain there, I thought.
What kind of dollar value gain was that?
I'm not even sure. I'm away from my trading computer right now.
It's probably close to $200, $180 or something. And I mean, Ava's logical location to buy. I'm looking at the chart right now, guys, and this is the 7th of July. Ava almost nailed the bottom. Like he picked a completely logical location to pick him up, and it bounced, but it came back a little bit, and he got stopped out. The important thing is you're never gonna catch the absolute bottom, and you're never going to sell the absolute top. And the sooner people kind of come to grips with that, because obviously it's just a natural tendency, you want to get as much as you can out of these. But what David does is he's mechanical about how he kind of approaches this. So he said, once if it pulls back on me, I'm going to take my money, and I'm good. I got my dollars out of it, and I'm good for the day. But now Ava, something that a lot of people have trouble dealing with. Is losses. So can you touch on how a loss might have affected you mentally when you were starting trading versus now?
Is at first, I would kind of be like, it's part of the game, whatever. But now it really upsets me if it's against my trade plan. Like if I get stubborn and I clearly see the charts going against me, but I kind of refuse to take it. I kind of dealt with that towards the beginning of this month. In May I had an awesome month and was I guess on a really good winning streak, and thinking pretty much not that I can't lose, it's that I shouldn't lose. And that was almost really, really bad for me. But I really feel like I kind of took a step back and focused on my school, my classes, and now I'm back in a spot mentally to where I feel like I'm ready to give trading really, really everything that I know I can.
Yeah, no, that's a good perspective, and someone like you that's got all sorts of stuff going on. Sometimes you do just need to step back. But I mean, right now, I mean, you don't lose sleep at night if you lose, right? You just understand. Hey, my stop loss got hit. I'll just live to fight another day.
Yeah. I mean, like losses, they're definitely part of it. The chart's not always going to go your way. You let it stop you out, and you move on.
So you mean there's no guarantees in the market? A chart isn't a crystal ball.
I wish it was that simple, but no.
So do I. And that's a whole nother ranting point there. Ches, I think we should have a podcast where me and you just rant back and forth about.
We could do that. I like that idea because I get a lot to rant about too.
Yeah, I know. So we may have to pursue that. So I mean, routine wise, do you have any sort of do you like to try to do your research beforehand, the night before or just before the market opens? Do you do anything like that? A lot of people always, hey, I wish I knew how people's how they prepared for the day. So do you have any sort of, strategy in that regard?
I basically see what's going on with the markets in the morning when I get up. I'm Central Time, so I'm not like Ches. I don't have to get up, 4 a.m. It seemed like just to do a little prep work on some charts. So I don't really do a whole lot of, I guess, prep work really.
All right, now this is a question that I'm genuinely interested in because I I don't want to scare people off if they want to, join our services, but sometimes I come down hard on people and I will just get all over their case. But like I always tell them, and like I'll tell everybody here, like my football coach has always told you, the minute we stop yelling at you and getting on your case, that's when you should be worried, because that means we've given up on you and say, Clay just can't do it. And Ava has driven me nuts multiple times. He's been in fantastic spots to just capture grand slam trades. And a couple of times, I know you fat-fingered stuff. And I think another time you just didn't follow your trade plan or whatever. And then you were totally right. And a huge move went in your favor and you missed out on it. And do you remember those times, Ava, when
I can think of them specifically. I know one of them was on Lumber Liquidators.
Yes, that was one of them.
I had the chasing tool drawn up perfectly. Had an awesome entry and fat-fingered my exit and exited my whole position. And I think from that point down, it tumbled, I don't know, like
a lot,
$10 or $15. That was just during that day. And then through the next couple of days, it was down like $30 or $40. I don't know. It was a huge move to the downside. And
you wouldn't have been stopped out either. It was.
Oh no, there wouldn't have been no stop out.
and so how are you doing in that regard? Are you and a fat finger for the new? That just means he pressed some wrong buttons with his broker, and he screwed up from the logistics side of pressing buttons, which happens. But it's painful to. So how are you doing though in that regard? Are you getting better with just the fat? Have your fat fingers skinnied up? That's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. I've had a couple occasions since then where it's gotten me out of trades I didn't want to be out of, but that's really my main focus on now is letting those winning trades work for me. And to me, it's not even really a trade if you're not letting it work for you. To me, it's just like a scalp, and you can make really decent money doing that. Playing the equity or playing options, but you will make the majority of your money off of those runners if you just let them work for you, especially once you learn charting.
Now, be honest with me. Were you offended when because I got on your case pretty good, didn't I?
Oh yeah, you let me have it.
Yeah,
wasn't offended. No, there's no way you could really offend me worse than I was doing to myself, because I knew I could see what I just got myself out of the potential, because that's like one of those once in a year, maybe once in a life for some people trades.
That was a big one. But do you understand why I was doing it? Because I know that you can do it. Okay, so I want to make sure we're still boys, right? Are we still homies?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, good. If I'm ever down in Texas, you gonna show me how to drill some oil?
Maybe. I don't know if they'll let me back on there.
We could. Ches can bring his wire snippers. We'll just snip through the fence.
Yeah, I got some bolt cutters and fence cutters, but in Clay and I have spoken privately before about my trading as well, and like you said, he gets on your case because he knows you can do it. And Clay's actually mentioned, he said, Ches, because of your patience, you will be a much better trader than I am in the long term, because I was more of a trend trader, and Clay found his spot in the market, and he's just very good at scalping and likes to get in and out in like 30 seconds, and then he's done. He gets his money and he goes home. Or he goes to do deadlifts or work out in his office or something. But it's all about finding kind of your place. But yeah, if the power of letting winners work for you is so tough to hold on, because you just want to kind of take the money, of course. But yeah, it's definitely something you got to work on. We all just kind of have to work on it. It's difficult to let things keep going in your favor when you kind of see that P&L just get greater and greater. You don't want to give any back. But if I was able to, if you still had some Pingify shares that you would give to me for access to my time machine, and you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice that you kind of know now, what would that be?
It would definitely be the paper trade. That's the one thing I wish I could go back and do a lot more of. The time in front of the screen and watching the charts move and learning the way everything works is really important, but putting your money on the line is not necessarily that big of a deal, especially if you're trying to make a business out of this. You really need to learn how to kind of fine tune everything before you start putting your own money on the line.
That would have been some very good advice to give yourself back when you got started. So yeah, that's good stuff. Well, we're gonna enter into some fun questions here as we wrap down the interview. So, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man. I I don't know. That's a tough one. I guess. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of good movies, y'all.
Well, you got to
are
name
we talking
one.
about a specific genre?
I'm talking about what's at the top of the mountain.
The top of the mountain. If you wouldn't have asked me, I could have told you.
Pick
I
a
don't know.
very, very obscure title.
I like Tombstone. Tombstone's a good one. Any Will Ferrell movie, really.
Give me a Will Ferrell one.
No, he said Tombstone. You don't know it. The streak is broken once
And I've
again,
had
ladies and
Tombstone?
gentlemen.
I've had Tombstone before. Was that Gator that said somebody else said
Somebody
Tombstone.
did say that. Yeah.
No, yeah, because that was the one that stumped me. But I've seen it, but I just haven't seen it enough to know any quotes from it. But
Come on, Clay.
give me a Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, man, any of them. I just watched Get Hard, yesterday?
I haven't seen that one, so that's
it's
how
funny.
was that one? Pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. It depends on the type of humor you're into. I'm really into some dumb humor, so
So I mean, if you like Dumb and Dumber, you would probably like Get Hard type thing. Is that what you're saying?
I hope so. I hope you would like it. I thought it was hilarious.
So, what type of what would you say your favorite meal is?
Favorite meal? I love seafood. Pretty much any kind of seafood. Yeah.
Now, what do you have for dessert after that seafood?
Dessert. Oh, cheesecake.
There you go.
It's hard to pass up on some good cheesecake.
That's pure America right there. What's your favorite song or band? You were singing Miley Cyrus before we got started, so anyone besides her.
Favorite song? I don't know.
You got a favorite band?
A favorite band? I like Turnpike Troubadours. I'm from Texas, so there's a lot of Texas specific bands around here that we listen to. It's good beer drinking music.
That's my kind of music right there. Now, what's a place you'd like to visit someday?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm not
You go anywhere in the world. No, don't think about how much it costs to fly there, or take a boat, or whatever you need to do. What's just a place I think you'd like to see?
Man, that's tough. I really don't know. Any place I'd like to see. I'm usually just fine where I'm at.
I heard Ches has a really nice couch in his apartment, so I mean.
There we go.
Would you
I
host
got,
this?
I got a nice lawn chair outside on my balcony. It's got a palm tree next to it because I know you like palm trees.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. If you could meet one person, no, wait, I take that back. We'll ask that next. What do you like to do for fun or hobbies?
For fun?
I know you don't trade stocks for
fish.
fun.
I definitely like to fish, play a little golf, and hit the gym. I mean,
we were talking about this. Let's so what are you squatting these days?
I guess I work out with around 375 or so.
You know what? Okay. I might start ranting again. I totally forgot about how you work out and go to the gym. So just throw in another thing into your hectic lifestyle. So again, for the people out there, I don't have time to learn, or I don't have time to do it the right way. I don't want to hear it. Go talk to Ava.
Always plenty of time. Always plenty of time to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one question, if you could meet one person, dead or alive, what would that be? Or who would that be, I should say?
I don't know.
You don't know?
That's a tough one. Dead or alive, who would I like to meet? Maybe Einstein would be cool to party with.
That's actually a good answer. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Now something I didn't get to actually weigh in on was the fact that like we were talking about time, is that everybody has 24 hours in a day, and Ava's finding time to do all of this stuff. Clay's finding time to do all this. There's a ton of people who are able to manage their time and kind of get things done. So that excuse that I don't have time to do things, that's always going to be crap. And I always tell people that's a ridiculous excuse. But yeah, that's my rant. Sorry, I won't even get into that. But what 3 words would you associate with successful trading?
And don't say I don't know. You've been saying that too much, Ava.
Cut your losers. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you want to be successful in this, you've got to know when to cut your losers.
Oh, that's nice. You just said a straight up statement. That's 3 words.
Yep, three words. You nailed it.
That's actually Wow, that's deep, man.
I feel like I was almost set up. 3 words. It's hard to say anything in 3 words.
Well, you said probably the 3 of the most important for in this whole world of trading. Cut your losers. Well done. Well, thank you, Ava. Like I said, I know you're doing some babysitting and studying for exams and probably got to go work out later and who knows what else is in your agenda. But thank you very much for hanging out with us this afternoon.
Thank y'all. It was pretty fun.
Good. Was it as bad as you thought it was going to be? I know you were a little nervous.
No, it wasn't really that bad. I'm not a big fan of phone calls, so but it was actually a lot better getting to tell my stories than what I thought it would be.
Good. Well, we enjoyed it. I had a real good time, and keep up the hard work. I say this in full genuineness. Your hard work is very inspirational, and a lot of people can learn from it. So thank you for everybody that listened. Few things before we end it. If you are listening to this on claytrader.com, please click one of those share buttons. Leave us a comment down below. Ches and I read those. If you have any questions for Ava, I'm sure he'd be willing to fit that into his busy day too, to go down there and answer any questions you may have for him. If you're listening to this on iTunes, leave us a review, leave us some comments. We want to hear from people, and we just like to get everyone's thoughts. So thank you again for hanging out with us, and we will see you back for the next episode.
This has been the Stock Trading Reality Podcast. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. To learn more about Clay and the Clay Trader community, including the trading team, premium training, and more, visit claytrader.com.